Hello everyone and welcome to episode 125 of Two Left Thumbs, a weekly gaming podcast that knows exactly how superheroes fuck. My name is Puppiez, I'm your host, and joining me today is the fashionista of Flano. It's Log Powerslave.
Yeah, Log Powerslave. G'day. How you going, mate?
Yeah, good. How are you?
I'm fucking reeling. How superheroes fucking you. I mean, I assume you saw the news about Batman today, that he's not.
Yeah, totally rolling with that today. Yeah,
he's not going down. Like, no. To be perfectly honest, he's a villain now. Really,
it's what the cowl was made for. There's like that whole facial area right there, and then he's got the ears for handles. It's perfect.
I hadn't quite thought about the mechanics of it, but I'm going to give it to 100% right. Look, I mean, look, I don't know. It made me feel very strange that was even considered for a kids show to begin with. Like,
the thing is, it's not that particular one. Isn't it's R18? So it's animation, okay. But that Harley Quinn season is yeah, it's all adult humor and stuff. It's actually really good. They've had a few like older ones, but they've had Batman bang people before. I think that was half the outrage.
So Batman's fine to go to Pound Town, but just he's not going down.
Can't please a woman. That's terrible. Selfish lover.
What a fucking Chad. Like, what a jock wanker. Like, Joker would. I even reckon Robin would.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Joker
definitely.
Wouldn't think twice. It's probably what he's doing right now in the fucking, you know.
He's just in
I don't know. I mean, is that a logical place to start this?
This is generally how it goes.
Probably not Green Arrow. I reckon he'd be on there. He's too heroic. Too much of a
definitely
wanker.
Too heroic, yeah. Although he does have the goatee, traditionally, so he's got the whole flavor saver thing going on.
Yeah, okay. Who else have we got? Superman. I don't know. I mean, he's like a sexual. Has to be careful, man. As far as I'm concerned.
He's a powerful dude. I can imagine him breaking a few beds and probably a couple of apartments.
Yeah, man. You won't. Not hips.
I mean, also that unless Lois secretly has superpowers we don't know about.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't get on the job with Superman. I'd be too scared.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
one misplaced thrust and you're dead. Anyway, this is going great.
This is fantastic. I love it. This is exactly the kind of shit I look for. So banging superheroes aside, who are you and what do you do?
Who am I? I don't know. I guess I'm I'm one half of the DDU podcast, which is probably the most widespread thing that I do, but also stream and play guitar and play video games and wear a lot of hats, but have a lot of fun doing it.
I'd like to hear, man. Lots of shit going on. Talk to me about your music, because you've been doing that for quite a while now, haven't you?
Ah, dude. I mean, I've been doing it for more than half my life at this point. I kind of did the typical. I'm going to get out of high school and just decide to go and play metal, and that's my single vision. And I'm glad that it wasn't like I had my old man to like whack me on the head and go, you can go and do whatever you want, I don't care, but just go and do some kind of fucking tertiary education as well. That's all you need to do.
Yeah, nice.
So I'm lucky in that I had a fallback, because it didn't pan out, because it's not what I'm doing for a living now. So yeah, that was it. I mean, I was in a band called Akuma me and mates started coming straight out of high school for fucking a decade, and it took me a lot of places and did a lot of cool shit. And like basically around the time that I started having kids, I kind of decided, hey, this is really not what I want to be doing with my time. Like,
there's always that reality check with kids. Hey.
Yeah, if anyone knows me, they know that I like a beer, and being in pubs and clubs fucking 3 or 4 nights a week and maintaining a balanced family life kind of doesn't work out for someone like me. So there was a few executive decisions made, and we sort of like let Akuma sort of fade into its thing. Like there's albums and shit on Spotify and stuff that people can check out if they want. But yeah, it's kind of like the old school chapter of my life before I got into all the shit that I do now. But I mean, I've been playing guitar, for more than half my life now, and it doesn't mean I'm good at it. Every time I see that meme, you've been playing Destiny 2 for 7 years, well, so you're a good player then? No,
just tears.
That's like me with guitar, except it's 20 years. So.
Well, I mean, it's gonna eventually, right? You'll get better, maybe. Like when you're like 80, you can barely move your fucking hands. You're like, yeah, I'm good at this now for my age.
Yeah. It's got a shelf life, right? Like all I've got to do is out survive all of the other dudes that can shred.
Exactly.
and not get arthritis. But then there'll be some young cunt anyway, and I'll just be dethroned anyway. Like you can't. I think that's the thing that scares me the most, right? Is back when I was learning to play guitar. It was you'd go to like a record shop and you'd buy a fucking Metallica tab book that was half wrong anyway. And you'd go through and teach yourself and all of that sort of shit. Because, it wasn't like guitar teachers were teaching you anything other than playing fucking chords and stuff at that point. So, like kumbaya campfire shit. So now one of the guys I used to knock around in bands with, Greenie, he's like a fully fledged guitar teacher now and a pretty accomplished session muso and stuff as well. So, if you went to him and said, I'm 15 years old, I want someone to teach me to play metal guitar, you found your dude, right? There's people out there for that. And he's just in Newcastle. So, like, there's people everywhere for that. And if that fails, go on fucking YouTube and you can learn. There's just so many resources. So it feels like every second day I jump on and there's some 16-year-old kid that's had a guitar for 3 weeks and shreds like 10 times better than I probably ever will. So that's the real pointy end of it. It doesn't matter how good I get. I'm never going to be the best. So I might as well just have fun with it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I've seen there's like a whole heap of like the kid protege is like on the drums and guitar. He's like, they're 6. How is this fucking possible? Like, did they just come out playing guitar? It's just like knee slid out of the womb shredding.
Just fucking, I'm here, mum. How you going? I don't know, but then you always, whenever you see kids like that, like it's super rare that they've just like out of nowhere picked up the instrument. It's always like their dad's a fucking animal drummer and they've been chained to a drum kit since they were 3 days old. Like in that sense, you're like, okay, so this kid's gonna turn 15 or whatever and go, I never want to see a fucking drum kit again.
I'm gonna be a doctor. This is how we get. This is how we get more doctors and teachers. We just force them to be musicians.
You know what's heaps cooler than being a rock star? Plumbing. I'm gonna go and do that. that's because we need more tradies, right? Like
exactly. We have a massive shortage at the moment.
And shout out to the parents out there turning their children off rock and roll by forcing them into it at too young an age.
Thank you so much.
Community service.
Your future thanks you. Their children will be better.
Like I thought, like my oldest has started picking up the guitar a little bit, and she's learning at school, learning all the chords and stuff like that. But the second I come at it, it's like I feel like Randy Marsh in the episode of South Park where all the kids are playing Guitar Hero, and he comes out with a real guitar, and he's like, I can play it on a real guitar. Like, who gives a fuck about that, Dad? We're playing it on the game. Right? So I'm like, here's this fucking legit BC Rich, pointy as fuck, evil guitar. You can have it if you want. You can learn to play on this. And she's like, nah, I just want to play the crap acoustics. It's cool, Dad. Thanks.
I want to go for a more authentic feel. I'm not feeling the metal just yet. You gotta wait till she gets angsty, and then you're good.
Yeah, maybe when she hits her teens and that, she'll be more interested in it. But I mean, I don't know. They're raised on that sort of shit. So like for me, my parents were like, I don't know, I was listening to Jimi Hendrix because my mum loved it, or the fucking Eagles because my dad's got the most vanilla taste in music of all time. So like that was what I grew up on. My kids are grown up on like, I don't know, like Metallica and Iron Maiden and shit. So that's dad music to them, and
yeah,
I'm more worried about pop stars and shit.
Yeah, I have the same problem. Yeah, I've tried, just like not forcing it upon them. Hey, you should listen to this band. They sound really cool, and it never pans out. And they're like listening to pop and weird Minecraft. So I mean, mine are all under 10 at the moment. So they're all like listening to Minecraft remixes and shit. And I'm like, okay, this is fine. I have to hear this shit on a daily basis.
It'll get you at some point though, because you'll catch them and they'll be into the thing, right? And the challenge, right, is that. Because I call it, what was it? Fucking Glory Hammer. I'm not sure if you ever heard Glory Hammer. Fucking classic power metal band. I think I'd shown my daughter that once, and she's got a little Spotify account that's linked to mine and whatever, so she can listen to whatever she wants within reason. Yeah. And she was listening to that of her own accord, and it was like one of those moments of like, I don't want to run in and be a weirdo about it because I don't want her to like, I'm never doing that again because otherwise Dad'll just never fuck off. But I'm like, yep.
It's a proud little inside mode. It's like, this is good shit. Keep it up.
Bit of a thumbs up. Throw up the horns. Good on you, mate. But yeah, I mean, my youngest is an animal. She's just yelling out and throwing the horns up all the time. She has no idea what any of it's all about, but she's basically the Tasmanian devil in human form. So,
aren't the youngest always like that though?
Yeah, I don't know. I was the eldest of me and my sister, so I mean, it's probably hard to believe, but I'm the more reasonable. Well, no, I'm not. That's a lie. As an adult, I'm fun. I'm the dead shit. My sister's way smarter than me. Way more switched on.
Yeah, my youngest as well is just absolute animal, just unstoppable, just chaos. And
I think that it's they just don't get, like, when you have your first kid, you treat it like it's a fucking egg, right? Like, oh fuck, anything that comes near it could hurt it. And I mean, and that's obviously true to an extent. But the second one, you kind of like, the limits, right? You know they're not made of glass. You know that they, like that they can throw themselves around a bit, and I think that kind of like subtly rubs off on them, so they end up being a little bit more woo.
Yeah, there's like, oh, look at me jump from this tree. So no, don't do that. The first one, you don't even let him get up the tree. The helicopter parenting is hard. He's like, you don't touch a thing.
It's real, dude. I mean, I probably don't come across that way, like in like my online life, but helicopter parenting is a big. I'm like, anywhere my kids are doing anything, I'm standing there, hands on hips, just watching, just like I'm fucking.
Yeah, you just switch into instant surveillance mode, and it's not like you're just watching your kid. You're watching literally everything in a fucking 4-block radius. Like you hear someone rip a fart, you're like, who the fuck was that? Where are you going?
Was it in a confined space? What have you eaten? I need a full dietary rundown. Sorry, dad mode, not negotiable.
My kids have allergies. We're not sure what they are, but I need to know just in case.
I don't know. I mean, that's the dichotomy of being a dad that has kind of like crazy pursuits and shit. That I'm, as much the same for you.
Yeah.
Dude, can I compliment you on your exquisite setup in the background?
Oh yeah, you can. I will take all compliments as they come. Thank you. I was admiring the sword in yours actually. But,
I mean, I'm not sure how many people will get their peepers on the video of this, but I think we've literally got the same fucking cupboards.
We do.
The same shelves.
Oh wait, do you have the Woody hat on the Deadpool?
Yeah, the cowboy one. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, no. So my kids had I don't know if it's up here or up here, down here or upstairs. It must be upstairs. But I have a Deadpool, and it's just a regular Deadpool. And my kid had a toy Woody, and the Woody broke, and we found the hat. It fits perfectly on there, so it made perfect sense because it's a bobblehead one. So it's got this little bobblehead Woody Deadpool now. It's fantastic.
Yeah, that one's. I mean, I think it's just my kids buy me this sort of shit for Father's Day or whatever, because it's Dad likes this stuff. He's got a room full of it. I'm a pretty easy mark. It's just any character that swears a lot and is particularly violent. Like who've we got? Fucking Deadpool, Wolverine, Negan from The Walking Dead, Ash from Evil Dead.
oh, I've got Ash somewhere too. Again upstairs. I also have Bruce Willis.
Oh, John McClane. Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. Love that shit.
Man, I think you've got more Iron Maiden in your backdrop than I do, and given the last name is Powerslave in the internet world, I probably need to up my fucking game.
You do. I mean, I've got
Big Eddie over there, but it's not. So it's somewhere in time though. It's a cracker.
Yeah, somewhere in time. That's Final Frontier. That was the first one I got.
Oh, it is too. It is too. Yeah, no, good album. Good album.
Yeah.
It looks like the Cyber anyway.
It
Can't
doesn't
really see because I'm old.
Yeah, old and
it looks like
pixelation. Now, fuck it, we're doing this.
It looks like this.
You know, it kind of does. It's like the alien. Wait, where's my camera?
Ah, yeah. Now I can see it. Now.
Yeah. It's like the munted alien. Oh, don't fall down. Got my Nirvana one as well. I like if I drop that shit, I'm fucked. That's my wife's.
What modern release like Iron Maiden stuff, like shit that's come out in like our adult lifetime? It catches a lot of shit, but there's some fucking absolute crackers on those albums. I reckon Brave New World's still nearly my favorite Iron Maiden. We can't get this into talking about Iron Maiden. I will not shut up ever.
I mean, let's go there, man. I mean, I like fucking. Oh, my brain's going high. Hello. Final Frontier, obviously.
I've ambushed you.
Yeah, you've ambushed me now. I'm not prepared. Final Frontier is good. And then there's the one with the Aces High. The album with Aces High on it is really good as well.
Oh fuck! Now you've got me.
Yeah. Hang on.
It's not Powerslave, is it? I think it might be.
It might be actually. There are so many albums though.
I just listen to there are. There's like fucking 200. But like, is it? Just put me out of my misery.
Yeah. I'm looking for it now.
2 minutes to midnight. Aces High is off the one before that, I think. No, it's not. This is great content.
This is the podcast now. I mean, we've probably got some devout Iron Maiden values. Like, you guys aren't even real fans. Aces High.
Dude, fucking fight me. Yeah, it's on Powerslave.
It's on Powerslave. There you go. Sweet.
It's the first song off Powerslave, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fear of the Dark's a banger as well.
We're just posers, man. Fucking wankers we turned out to be.
I think my favorite track though is I don't know why, but it gives me fucking goosebumps. Is the live version of Fear of the Dark and Rock and Rio.
Dude, anything. Like the South American audiences and just the sheer willingness to sing along in that, like that song's perfect for it from the get go. Yeah. But even like watching Megadeth like go there and like they don't have sing along shit really, and the crowd's like, okay, so there's no strong vocal line. We'll sing the fucking guitars. Fucking
legends, man.
They're fucking into it. So like when you take Fear of the Dark there and like it's got the like
that big part of it, yeah.
Fucking it's one of the greatest things ever. I think the first time they played Rock in Rio, after they reformed with Bruce and Adrian and that on I think that would have been touring on Brave New World.
Yeah.
The live DVD of that was kind of like, I knew who Iron Maiden were and I kind of cared, but I was more like, I don't know. I mean, I was brought into metal by like White Zombie and all that sort of shit. So I was a generation kind of removed from Priest and all of that sort of stuff. And it was, like I was into Metallica and whatever, but I hadn't really experienced the actual roots of heavy metal. That live album, holy fuck, it changed my life. It was like, hang on, I don't want to play in drop B anymore. I want to write melody lines, and I all of a sudden give a shit about being able to sing and not just bark at everyone like fucking Max from Sepultura. Though I didn't make it too far down that road. So,
oh well, this is what it is. Have you seen them live before?
Maiden, I've seen probably five times.
Nice. I saw them. They were my first.
Four of which were all on the one tour. I went like Melbourne, Sydney twice, and then Brisbane. Yeah.
So nice.
Fortune, but it was worth it.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like their live shows are fucking incredible, man. Like like watching like them and like just like the amount of production that is behind each kind of show, and the fact that Bruce is like 60 and he's like literally singing and running around, and like, how is this guy not fucking dead?
He's just, I mean, like, you know, how much do you know about Bruce as a bloke? Like, you know that he's a pilot, but the other thing a lot of people don't know about Bruce is that he was like a borderline Olympic level fencer.
Oh, was he?
He was like a fucking athlete. Yeah, so like, he clearly knows how to keep himself in nick because he's in supreme condition even for someone of his age. Like, it is. It's like he runs around the stage like he's fucking 20. Like, I couldn't even get close to his energy. But, man,
I could do it for like a minute.
I say it and
just hang on, guys. Need a break.
Yeah, I'm off. Fuck this. I wouldn't hit the first note, so it doesn't really matter. I'd be off instantly. I wouldn't make it 30 seconds. I'd be killed. But look, I don't know. I'll probably catch shit, but I don't care. They're the greatest live band ever of all time. And like, they were supposed to be here mid last year, but because of COVID and all that shit, it didn't end up happening. But me and a couple of the TA boys were going to take my oldest to go and see Maiden. That was going to be the plan, which would mean, you know, obviously I'm going to be in dad mode and staring everyone down all night, and it probably wouldn't be very fun. But
yeah, it's like
worth it just for her to go and like, guess what? Every live artist you see from this point on will be a step down. I've ruined live music for you forever.
Yeah, that was my problem because Maiden was the first like big live band I'd seen. Like, I'd seen like local gigs and stuff before. But yeah, I think it was like my 20th birthday or something. I went and saw them live, and I was like, holy shit. And now it's ruined. Everything else is ruined. Like, they sound okay live, but you know, I mean, Slipknot's up there. Performance-wise,
that's like watching a band that has 6 frontmen. There's something. And like, look, I've come and gone on them pretty hard. I've always loved Corey as a singer, right? But sort of like, when their first 2 albums came out, probably up until Volume 3, I was like, yeah, I'm fucking, you know, I love this band. And then I kind of just drifted away from it and went back into like, you know, I was a thrash metal kid, death metal kid, and all that sort of shit. Got into more extreme stuff, which I imagine if you're not into metal, finding more extreme shit than Slipknot sounds pretty fucking wild. Yeah, but it's real. But I've kind of come around on them again. Like, I don't know. I just think that they're the modern band, right? That are gonna be they're gonna age like an Iron Maiden. They'll be looked back on fondly, even if there's some sort of like lesser lights in the back catalogue. I think they're something special, man.
Definitely.
You can't mimic it. You can't copy it. It is what it is. And like, their live shows are just. I think I saw them. I'm trying to think of what the tour was. I saw them at the Horden Pavilion. They were playing with maybe, I'm sure it was Mastodon and Soulfly. I love Soulfly and Max and all that sort of Sepultura shit. So I was probably there for that.
Yeah.
Maybe that was Slayer. I don't know. But anyway, I saw them at the Horden Pavilion, and I can't remember who they were playing with, but fuck me, they blew everyone out of the building. It was insane. It was just... But you can do that when there's like literally you've got an entire fucking football team up on the stage.
Exactly. Like, we had...
There's always someone to look at.
The tour back, they played the tribute to the bassist that passed away. I can't remember his name though.
Yeah, Paul Gray,
and one of the guys went up the back. This is the show I saw, and jumped off the soundstage into the crowd.
Yeah, it's just insane shit.
It's insane I'm like, what shit. The shit? And then the drum kit goes up, and you're like, all right, okay, this is like, okay.
It's the kind of pandemonium that like their early days, man, that must have been fucking wild. Like, when you think about, like, now they're all, you know, they're older than they're all in their late 40s, if not older.
Yeah.
You know, so they're getting on a bit. They've toned it down a bit, but them in their 20s, just fucking hell, what a ferocious, probably horrible group of people to be around. Like, incredible, like.
Incredible musicians, scary, terrifying people though.
Oh, like, look, they're beating the shit out of each other, man, and they're a touring fucking road act. They're with each other all the time. You know, they're clearly friends. So what the fuck are they gonna do to you? You get in their way, like. I feel like heavy metal these days, like heavy bands, have lost that kind of like batshit fucking crazy.
Yeah, they don't have that
element
edge
of danger.
Anymore. They're like, yeah, we play heavy music, but they don't. There's playing the music, and then there's living the lifestyle. and that's gone now. Like for the most part, you won't see that much anymore.
It's probably for the best because, let's be honest, there's a lot of heavy metal wreckage around. In part, I'm maybe a little bit of that in terms of like having gone a little bit too hard in my younger days, but I'm doing okay. But I don't know. I do feel like that's what's missing. I mean, like bands like Cannibal Corpse and shit back when they first started were just like, I don't know, terrifying. And now they kind of, they're still releasing incredible albums, but fuck, I think they're all like 50 and shit. So they're slowing down a bit. Someone's got to, like, probably the last like really fucking scary band in that respect is like Dillinger Escape Plan and coming out and fucking shitting in a bag and throwing it in the crowd and running on people's heads and stuff. And like, that's probably taking it a bit too far. So then the lawyers got involved and now everyone's like, fuck this. We're not doing that anymore. Do not fucking kick your fans in the face. Yeah.
It's not ideal. I mean, unless they sign a written consent form first and they understand the dangers, as long as it's verified by a lawyer, justice of the peace will be fine. But don't trust me, I'm not a lawyer.
You've got to get a stat deck.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But yeah, anyway. Wait, what took us down that avenue? Me talking about fucking Band-Aids, I guess. But
Band-Aids, yeah. That shit. So video games. Where did you get started? Because I know from hearing you talk about earlier, you started kind of in Halo. Is that where it really started for you, or was it a bit further back?
Oh, like a lot further back. I mean, I think for my 5th birthday, I got a Sega Master System that had I got Wonder Boy, a disc, but it had Alex Kidd in Miracle World. Like, you know how you used to get the game that came built into it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had that. And man, that game is fucking punishing. You get 3 lives. If you don't get it done in 3 lives, fuck you. Have another go. Like, I remember, like, that it's the first and last video game my dad ever played. And, like, to this day, I give him shit about it because I'm like, you're a better gamer than me because I never finished it. But he did. He got all the way through the end of it. But, like, I mean, look, there was probably smashed controllers and all sorts of shit. all sorts of wreckage that led up to that point. But that was kind of it. And I guess it's one of those things that it's, from there you go. I think I went, through all the Nintendo consoles, like the really great ones, like a NES and a SNES, and then Nintendo 64, and and then I think I got a PlayStation 2 maybe, and then after that, I don't know. I was kind of in my teenage years. I kind of wavered a little bit and was more worried about playing guitar and all that sort of shit. But
I did the same thing. I got to teens. I was like, no, video games aren't cool. We can't do it. And so I like secretly play Halo with one of my mates who was a gamer as well. And so we like come around and play Halo.
It came a little bit later for me, but that's just because that was when Halo was released. But I was, like when you. I don't know. I mean, it's a different world now. Like, you look at all the 16, 17, 18-year-olds, and they're all looking up to fucking Twitch streamers wanting to do that for a living, where for us, it was just like, well, nerds play video games. I'm going to go and fucking be in a band and,
Yeah, right.
So, like, looking back on it now, I'm like, well, fucking, what would I have rather been doing with all of that time? I mean, I wouldn't take any of it back, but, I mean, I think it was when the Xbox launched. Did Halo launch with the Xbox?
It did,
I can't remember. Yeah, it was the launch title, and to be honest, it didn't get me right away. It was one of those things where I didn't buy one at launch, but I had a mate who I worked with and was like a good mate to this day, one of my best man at my wedding and all that sort of stuff. He had it, and he was on to me about it for fucking probably like 7 or 8 months, right? Like, you gotta come down and check out this fucking game. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about games, man. I'm gonna, go play a gig and fucking whatever. And there was one night, I think I had a blackout. There might have been floods or something. I can't remember, but I couldn't get home, right? And I was like, I was still living at home with my folks, but I couldn't get home. And I went around to his place just to kick shit until we got, I could get home. And he's there and he's got his Xbox, and sure enough, we fire it up. He loads up Halo, and it was kind of like one of those things of like within a week, I had an Xbox, blew all my fucking money, and probably borrowed a couple $100 off mum to go and buy an Xbox and get it, and then. yeah, it was sort of like from there, just followed the gradual evolution of it, and like I mean, I played through Halo. I think I played the campaign, and then by the time Halo 2 rocked around, I kind of waned a little bit on it again, and came back in at the tail end of Halo 2. Like I think I played it when it came out, and then like the story and the campaign and whatever, and came back to the multiplayer right at the end of the tail end of Halo 2. Sorry. And then for Halo 3, it was just like I was camping out for the release and all that sort of stuff. And I guess that's kind of that's the path I've stayed on right up until now, more or less. But Halo 3 was really where for me, like I went, okay, cool. Like you can go and you can finish the story of this game, and that's like 5% of my playtime in Halo 3, and the rest of it was
the multiplayer.
It's just all multiplayer, all fucking all that team SWAT and all that good stuff that now seems so fucking archaic. But hundreds and hundreds of hours, which hundreds of hours in a video game now seems pretty funny. But
yeah, I know, right?
back then it was like, holy shit, this guy's got a problem. But yeah, and then obviously after Halo 3, Halo Reach came out. Fuck, like I don't know, like a couple of weeks before my eldest was born. And I remember like scrambling, there was, because I mean she was overdue and all that sort of stuff. So it was just okay, cool. Like I was at home, I had time off work because Mrs. is gonna give birth. Mrs. is at home. I'm just playing fucking Halo Reach all day for weeks, and then it was like bang, dad mode, and I was off it for probably 3 months, and then came back to it, and I guess that's kind of where. That from there that led into Destiny more or less, and here I am, fucking 7 years later,
still playing Destiny. Love it.
Yeah.
So did you just find Destiny through the natural evolution of Bungie's making a new game?
Yeah,
that way. Yeah,
fully. Yeah, I mean it was one of those things that it was kind of interesting, and like, I mean, I've been around long enough to watch them, get out of the Microsoft deal and do their own thing with Activision to then realize that was probably a bit shit too and get out of that. And like, I don't know, I remember it, being talked about and all of that sort of stuff from very early on, and being excited about it, not really knowing what it was, like, I mean, at the back end of that Halo sort of time period, I was dabbling in MMOs like, Star Wars: The Old Republic. I played the shit out of.
Yeah, nice. So I've never played yet.
So, man, they're like crack. You gotta be
real careful with that shit.
You gotta be real careful with that shit. Like it's like WoW. Like I started playing WoW, and now I'm fucking 56 years old, and I haven't left my room for fucking 2 decades or whatever. Like but like at the time, like the pitch of like, it's like Halo but with an MMO mechanic. Which kind of probably wasn't completely accurate, but that was what was being peddled around. So by the time it came out, I made TA like I don't know 2 months before the game even came out. So I had a clan before there was a game. I was like there waiting for it, chomping at the bit, and did all the alphas and betas and all that sort of shit. So yeah, I mean I'm still here now. So
yeah, it's
really
it was
awesome or really sad, depending on which way you look at it.
Yeah. I don't know, like it was interesting, like you said, when they were pitching it as like a first person shooter MMO. The thing was though, there wasn't really anything that was out that was like that, so it's probably pretty difficult to get people to understand what was going on.
Yeah I mean, like realistically, if you look back at what was around it at the time, like the only real kind of direct line you can draw to anything is maybe like a Borderlands, right? Like it kind of had the loot aspect, which is a core tenet on which Destiny is built, But you're right in saying that, like, if you tried to explain to someone what Destiny actually is, which we probably still don't even have a fucking
I mean, do Bungie know what it is yet? Because I think they're still trying to be figuring it out.
Oh man, I imagine like Destiny to them is a lot of things. It's something they're incredibly proud of, and it's also like every time Telesto shits itself, it's a huge pain in the ass. So.
Fucking Telesto, man. I remember using that. That was back in D1. It came in, didn't it? originally.
Yeah.
I remember
think so,
using
yeah.
that 9 banner once. I was like, I'm never not using another gun again. This is amazing. It was just
Yeah, then they nerf it into the ground.
Yeah.
That's fucking, and rightly so. Whatever. It is what it is. Yeah, it's but yeah, I mean that's it. That's basically how I found my way to where I am right now.
Right, and through that you met all the people that you know now, like Matt and Rick and all those glorious fucking people.
I mean, Matt, I know how I met Matt. Matt was the first Destiny video that I ever stumbled on YouTube, made by a person who had an Australian accent, even if he did talk like the most boring bloke in the world. And I can't remember whether I replied to one of his tweets or something like real early on, way back in the day, and I'm like, "Hey man, it's good to see an Aussie doing shit and whatever." And I don't know, maybe he took pity on me because you know what Matt's like with flexing his numbers. He's like, he probably had 15,000 subs then. He was big shit in the small pond. And we started talking, and it was kind of like we'd talk every few months and bounce ideas off each other and stuff. And there wasn't too much more to it. And I was going along doing the clan thing, and I'd kind of dabbled with streaming a little bit. Solely because back in the early days of TA, there was kind of like 60 active, like super active members, and it was getting to the point where like we'd have these Xbox party chats that'd be fucking full all the time. Yeah. Everyone's wanting to get in, like, oh, everyone's in that one. I want to get in that one. These guys are raid. There's 2 fucking concurrent raids going on in the one fucking party chat because everyone wants to hang out. I'm like, this is fucking stupid. So I went like. I think it might have been like the House of Wolves thing they did, where they had Goth on, and he was, like they were talking to him, and they got like, this guy's a streamer. I'm like, what the fuck's a streamer? It's like, okay, well, you can just stream yourself playing video games. I'm like, well, fuck, I'll do that. That way, anyone who can't get into the party chat can still hear what's going on. And that was
just hang out and chat.
That was it. That was the whole fucking notion behind me starting streaming, and yeah, so like about that time, I remember talking to, I can't remember whether, I think Matty had decided of his own volition that he was going to start streaming, but not like what his streams are now where he just shouts at everyone, but he was like being nice, and what his stream was basically he'd just sit in the fucking tower in Destiny and stream that, but people could like turn up and lob Destiny lore questions at him.
Yeah.
And I think the first fucking stream he did had like 300 people turn up and were just the chat's just going fucking ape shit. He's
what
like,
a
I
way
can't
to go
fucking
in
read.
though, hey? You're just like, oh yeah, like shit.
He got the fucking baptism by fire. So, and then it was like, I don't think he knew anyone but me. So he's reached out to me and gone, hey dude, can you like come in and just like, be in voice chat and fucking keep a list of the questions and read them out to me and whatever. And so from that, like I helped him once, and then Slothy, who used to be on the podcast, helped him at I helped him a couple of times, and then he was doing it one day when I was at fucking work, and he's like, oh, can you help me? I'm fucking struggling again. I'm like, oh, I'm not around, but Slothy, who was in the clan and a good bloke and whatever, sort of went, well, here's me mate, he's around as well. And it kind of evolved into the thing of like, I never intended to start a podcast. I can say that hand on heart. It was just one of those things that the banter between sort of the three of us got to a point where it became something that people in in Matt's chat at that time were like, you guys should do a fucking podcast. This is hilarious and all that sort of stuff. So, and then it was like a month of me fucking around figuring out how to do it. And then that was basically what kicked it off. That's where we are now.
Chat demands and you deliver.
Yeah, I know. And look, we were just trying to keep chat happy, and it's fucking no different 5 years later. So
still giving you shit.
It's the same beast. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I'll look back on it and kind of like, I didn't know Matt fuck all then, and like I knew Slothy a little bit better than him because he'd been around the clan for a while and whatnot. But the kind of weird thing that I don't think either Matt or I like realized, and it's not something that we give each other shit all the time, but we're just really like kind of on the same level with shit. And Matt's, video persona is, his YouTube persona especially is so far removed from the actual bloke that he is. It's fucking ridiculous. So I was like, I didn't know what the fuck I was getting into. I'm like, I didn't give a shit about law. I just wanted to help him out. And now it's sort of like, I don't know, we are where we are at the end of it, and we've done some pretty fucking cool shit through the course of it. So I wouldn't swap it for anything.
And everything I have to thank you and say fuck you first of all, and second of all because of you is I've met the people that I've met and that are now my friends, and the reason that I'm in this podcast.
Who of all of them do you want to pin on me the most?
Well, it's a toss up between Static and Winky.
Fucking. I haven't seen. I think the last time I saw Static, like I've spoken to him a couple of times, like on the internet, but was down at PAX a couple of years back, and I didn't know he was going or anything. And he came up to me. He's the nicest bloke in the fucking world. Like, he's just the
top dude.
Hey man, you know, like he is the nicest bloke in the world. Daniel, fucking Winky, what a pair. Honestly, he's one of those people that, like, I had no read on him, and he's been around the clan for fucking forever, but I had no read. Like, he's one of those people. He's like, his sense of humor is so fucking dry that, like, you can't tell whether he's fucking being sarcastic or actually being an outright cunt sometimes. And I'm like I love him for it, because there are times when he's said stuff and I've gone, no, I'm being a dick. And then he's like, oh, I'm just kidding. And I'm like, no, but I still realized I was being a dick, even if you are. I don't even know if you're joking or not.
Yeah.
So that and do me around as well. Like, admittedly, I haven't played with Winky for quite a while. I think he's been off doing his own thing for a little while. So
yeah, I actually got a chance to meet up with him a month back. Yeah, it was really, really cool. We've been shooting the shit with each other for about 5 years now. So it was really cool.
Was it weird?
For about the first 3 seconds, and then it was fine. You know, you do the awkward, like, hi, how are you? Do we handshake? Do we hug kind of deal? And then we were good, you know. We just tried to find a pub, and then we were solid.
Yeah, we the first time me and Slothy and Matt all met each other, we were down. It was for the release of Forsaken, and somehow we managed to work our way into doing, like, the promo stuff. Like, they wanted, you know, they had fucking Briggs there to do to play the game, and bloody Benji Marshall plays in the NRL and whatever. And they're like, well, we need some actual people that play the game to play with them. So we got roped into that and got to do this admittedly ridiculously over budgeted event, but that was back in the Activision days. So
yeah, it's Activision different. Money. We good.
So yeah, we got the, like, okay, well, these are all being put up in this hotel. And you know, whatever. So none of us had met each other in person at all, and there'd been, like, I think we'd been doing the podcast for at least 18 months, if not 2 years.
Been doing it a while, yeah. I remember you guys doing that event, yeah.
And you know, always giving each other shit, like, you fucking, you know, short ass and whatever. Everyone's getting into me about being short all the time, which is just it's not stopped. But, you know, Maddie and Sloth both into me about being short. We met. And we just happened to, I was on the phone to Slothy, and I'm like, you know, where are you? He was turning up in a cab, and I walked around the corner, and Matt was coming down the street. Like, we all just happened to get there at exactly the same time. So it was this kind of, like, weird, everyone converged on the same point. And the first thing that we said, well, the first thing I said is, like, we're all the fucking same height. We're all exactly the same height. So I don't know. It was weird. It was kind of weird, but that was the first thing we did. We knew we had the event sort of. It was starting at like 4 or 5 o'clock, and it was only about 2 o'clock. So we went to the pub and then tried to keep on the download that we'd been at the pub when we were at the event. I don't think anyone gave a shit, but whatever. It was fucking cool though. I mean, admittedly, it was like such a fucking. I can't imagine what it would cost, and I don't even want to know. And I think that, like, there's a really kind of, like, wholesome, great groundswell of shit that's happened since then, in terms of like Destiny fans and FANZ and all that sort of stuff, where it's grassroots as fuck now, and it's, you know, a lot of people who just they're doing it out of the goodness of their hearts. I think that's probably where we need to be to keep it going long term. But man, I'm not against a junket. I'll go and get pissed on someone else's money like every day of the week. There's a clip from that where at the back end of it, we were playing, you know, they're recording this stream. I think we were on the fucking official account streaming. I don't even know. I can't even really remember. But they're like, "Oh, do you guys want a drink?" And I can't. It wasn't me. I don't think it might have been Maddie or Slots. Like, "Is there beer?" And then they told us there was beer in the fridge, and that was about the happiest we were all day. We were just raiding this beer fridge in the fucking. I don't know. It was weird. It was at like Fox Studios and shit in Sydney there, across the road from the bloody Bat and Ball Hotel at Moore Park. It was nuts. But anyway.
So Destiny fans, that's something you've had a heavy hand in, creating. Because I'm not sure how that really started. I just know you were quite involved with it.
I think it kind of Destiny fans is like it's born out of at the time Bungie were doing all of the localized Destiny accounts, right? Like they didn't have that. That was the separation of Bungie and Activision, and them sort of expanding into realizing that they had all these territories and stuff that they needed to manage and whatnot. And like we'd been holding the fort to a much lesser extent with the DDU, and kind of like, you know, we went and we did the PAX event off our own back, and that kind of like solidified it, I think, to a bit of an extent. You know, we got to work with you know, all Fez that's around plenty now, and Amber and that, and meet these people. And it was sort of just out of the back of that, it was like, well, we can't let these drunks, the DDU, fucking be the official thing. And then it's not right either, because, you know, we're content creators and stuff in our own right. So we had this, you know, that was the created handle of the Destiny, sort of our region's Destiny account, and that's more or less what it is. So it's, you know, there's a Discord server and all that sort of stuff where everyone who's into creating content around Destiny, whether it be stream stuff or podcasts or YouTube content, can get involved. I guess there's no real clear pathway into it, but I guess if you're around long enough and you just chatting to people, you find your way in there. So that's what it is. It's good. It's you know, I do a little bit for it. I did a calendar, kind of a planner thing to just to try and, you know, give people the opportunity to do what they want to do in support of it. But yeah, it's definitely, I don't know, that's weird. It always weirds me out when people think that we're involved in it. We're just there to help. It's definitely Bungie's beast.
Yeah, because I think when I first started kind of seeing it pop up, it was a lot of you and Sylvie and Matt just kind of pushing that, and like I was seeing it a lot with your account. I mean, so I kind of assumed that it was they've rolled it off the back of the beer garden event, and it just kind of went from there.
I mean, like in terms of like, it was kind of a no-brainer coming out of the back of that something needed to be done, but it was done by people much smarter than us. So. So we just continued trundling down our little fucking road of bullshit, and now it's in great hands, because Fez and Amber are fucking incredible people, and they care, man. Like you know, they're into it. They're as invested into it as anyone I've met, you know, from the outside looking in. That's for sure.
Yeah, nice. That's awesome, man. But yeah, again, thank you, because you've like inadvertently connected a lot of people in the internet. Like, I think I met Static through a raid you guys did from the podcast.
Yeah, right.
And Static was the one that originally started this podcast. And then he asked me on for a guest, and then he left. And here I am, still going.
Drop the baby in your lap. It is kind of a head trip, hey? Like,
yeah.
So like, I don't know. I was pretty established in my life in terms of like, you know, I was married and, you know, had a house and, you know, knew where I was going to spend the rest of my life, more or less within reason, you know, before Destiny came out and all this sort of shit happened. But, you know, through the course of D1, we had I started Terra Australis, but there was a Terra Britannia and a Terra Americas too, and the founders of both of those clans now are married.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so
it's wild,
Mox, who lived in Canada, and Ben, who lived in the UK, are now married. So I was like, I love those sorts of stories of like, you know what, I picked up a controller one day and it changed the course of my fucking life in ways that I couldn't have even imagined. And I think it's a fucking beautiful thing. But that's Destiny, man. And as cliche as it sounds, and as much shit as Deej got at the time, you know, the real end game is the friend game. It's true. It's what keeps us. It's what keeps me giving a shit. You know, like there has been times in Destiny where I've been like, I'm not invested in the game particularly, and I've gone away and done other things, but you always come back to it because it's where everyone you know is, and you know,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like home. It's like, oh, I'm going to go and work abroad for 6 months and then come home, and it's, you know, the country town where everything's where it fucking was when you left it, and
Nothing's changed. The Kmart's had a
Yeah.
layout changeover, and that's about it.
Yeah, you're gonna blow up because you can't find the fucking homework section. But beyond
Yeah.
that, you're kind of sweet. Oh, I think it's wholesome in that way. And, you know, that's probably my favorite thing about Destiny, and you know, aside from the actual, you know, gunplay and all the things that think it does incredible. I think it does do incredibly. Is just you know, it's that moment where, you know, like I'm down at PAX and I'm in a pub talking to, you know, people that I never thought I'd meet in real life, and I get a tap on the shoulder and I turn around and it's Static and he just wanted to say good day, and you know, shit like that. That's I don't know, you can't put a price on that, man. I mean, it's a $200, $300 total spend in gaming. Fucking so be it. Easy done.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the cost of friendship, fucking, I'll pay it. You know.
That's it. And like, look, how hard is it to make friends as a fucking adult?
Right? You know, it's like working weird hours,
you-
kids, fucking just general exhaustion from work, and like you don't want to make friends with work people either, because they're just like, all right, you're cool, but I don't want to hang out with you 24/7. This is like this affiliation through work is fine. If you leave, bye.
Yeah. Look, and I mean, like, I've had a lot of those friendships where there's a couple that have managed to survive, like they bridge that gap from a work friendship into like a, you know what, I don't want to go out on the beers with you, you know, like that kind of like lasting friendship. But I think it's fucking healthy, and especially given, you know, the world being fucking turned on its head, right? Like over the last 18 months, 2 years, I think like if we didn't have the outlet and the sort of social aspect of being able to jump on and play a game, and that be the pretext to just being able to talk shit with people for 3 hours of a night and then go to bed having, you know, interacted with another human. You'd say that back if that happened in fucking 1990 when all I had to game on was a fucking Sega Master System. I'm pretty sure I would have put my fist through the fucking TV and that would have been the end of it. So I wouldn't have made any friends out of it either. So that's wholesome.
It's the internet's a wholesome, devilish beast. Like, you know, there's a lot of friendships being made about it, but then there's also the internet just being the cesspool.
The internet is simultaneously the best and worst thing humanity has ever done, and probably ever will do, because it's incredible and you can do lots of great, amazing things on it, but it's also inexplicably tied to literally everything that's fucking horrible too. So
it's such
Mark
a perfect
Mark
reflection
Zuckerberg knows when you're having a wank at this point. So like, we can't pretend it's all a good thing. Bill Gates is injecting us with 5G. Fucking.
I mean, at least the signal's better though, right?
Oh man, I haven't got mine yet. I can't wait.
Project Xcloud down here so early. We've all been injected with 5G, so we're all our own transmitters now.
Beautiful. That's what I honestly wouldn't care as long as I don't get any internet dropouts. So I can just fucking play Destiny and sweet ass.
Aces, fucking love it. It's gonna be better once, especially for Destiny. They've got crossplays coming soon, right?
Yeah, it is. I think that'll be a huge thing for the game. They've had the beta of it already and trialed it in game, and I gave it played a couple of games, and you know, like waved to the console peasants from PC.
wave with the ability to move your mouse fast enough to actually wave.
I know you can't see it, but I'm waving in 120 frames per second. I'm just being a fuckwit. Anyway, but like that'll be a big thing, and it'll be a great thing for you know, when you look at it through, you know, creators and stuff. Like I always come back to one of the original streams that I got really into, just as before I was streaming or anything. Jay Sniperton is like one of the greatest teachers of raids, and I think for someone like him to be able to, you know, he'll always be able to play on his PC or whatever he's most comfortable doing, and be able to help people through content and all that sort of stuff. Because I still feel like that's the one thing Destiny does pretty poorly, is bring people together in an organic way. It's kind of like everything, like any way that if you don't have 6 friends who want to do the raid, it's all ancillary. You got to be going on the internet looking for it. And I feel like
LFGs.
it could definitely be.
is the worst. I spent so much time like first day raids on LFG, and I was like, why am I doing this? What is wrong with me? Why do I keep doing this? Because, you know, like all the other teams would fill up, and I'd be like, okay, LFG it is, and it's like, oh my god, it's so bad. I've got some horror stories, man.
No, yeah, I've only done it a couple of times, and not with anything that I was too fucking emotionally invested in. So I'm pretty. I wouldn't want to do it. I thought they were going to go down a really good path with fucking guided games and that stuff, but it just kind of never really panned out the way it was intended. Yeah. So I'd love to see them revisit that idea and you know, build something into the game. But anyway, I digress. I'm talking about Destiny. I'll do that enough.
Sick of that shit already.
Do it for an hour and a half every week anyway and shit on about the
game. Well, to avoid talking about Destiny again, let's talk about some other games. I've got some freebies and some deals here for the week. About them. And yeah, if you've got anything to say or any experiences with them, if you've taken a break from Destiny and had a chance to play these, let us know and just like interrupt me. just shut up. I need to talk now. Fucking no, face, it's fine. All right, so
chances are slim.
PlayStation Plus freebies this month. We have Star Wars Squadrons and Virtua Fighter Ultimate Showdown. That's Virtua Fighter 5. I don't know why I missed the number. We did. It's fine. PS5 game.
That's Squadrons. I haven't played it, but watching other people play it in VR.
Oh, dude,
that's
so
fucking
good.
That's some cool shit, right?
It
like
is.
I wouldn't play it without that. Like I need the additional gimmick, I reckon, to get me over the line.
Gimmick. Yeah, I originally played it with a HOTOS stick, which was sick, but I don't have a VR kit yet. But the second I do, it's after I finish playing Half-Life Alyx. First thing I'm getting into is just going through and playing Squadrons, because I've talked to people that have played it in VR, and they're like, it is just like a whole different game once you put the VR kit on. It's like 10 times better than the original. I'm like, fuck yeah.
It'd be Porkins. Red October standing by. Man, the amount of mileage you get out of that fucking one Family Guy joke. Oh my god.
Right.
Anyway, move on. Please.
Move on. PlayStation 5 freebie this week. It's Operation Tango, which is co-op spy adventure. Requires you to get online, use a microphone, which we all hate doing, to communicate with another player to solve your missions. One of you is an agent, one of you is a hacker, and you can't see each other's screens. So you've got to kind of lead each other around these missions. The possibilities for trolling of this is endless.
Yeah, I mean, look, if you're going to do it with someone that you know, that's fine. But if it's going to randomly matchmake you with someone like from anywhere on the internet, like, oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think it'd be worse with someone I know, because this is the amount of fuckery that would happen.
You know, then you've got to carry the emotional scars of like, if it doesn't pan out, and you end up fucking getting shits with each other.
Yeah. Our PlayStation deals this week, we have For Honor for $32.46. So if you feel like slapping some medieval ass, you can go do that.
You ever played that?
Yeah, I played it a little bit at the start. It's I
haven't played it for a long time. Me and Maddie, of all things, we were playing it on the Xbox when it came out.
Yeah.
And it was one of the games that was like, that was when I really understood what fucking metas were, right? Like Destiny, it was a word that I fucking I heard it talked about, never really clicked, and then it was the fucking, I can't remember what they come with the pike. Like he was the meta in the, oh man, you just couldn't do anything about it. It was so broken. Like fucking raging.
Yeah, it's I played it for a bit. I'm like, this is way too hard for me. I was like, oh, you're getting there and just like button bash and smack people around. I'm like, wait, this has skill that required. I don't like this. Send it back.
It's basically like playing fucking Street Fighter in a 3D setting where there's like more than one opponent. It's confusing as fuck. Cool if you're into that kind of thing, I guess.
Yes. Over on Xbox this week, Game Pass Pick of the Week, which is game that's new to the service. This one got announced at E3, which is still going as we speak, kind of. Is Yakuza Like a Dragon. They've dropped it on Game Pass with the rest of the series, which is fucking fantastic. I've heard nothing but amazing things about that game. Something I've yet to play, but it's very good.
I think the last Yakuza I played would have been was on the PlayStation 2, I think. So I have nothing relevant to add.
Nothing relevant.
I'm sure it's great though.
I'm sure it's good. I mean, you haven't played it. I haven't played it. You haven't played it in fucking donkey's years. We'll give it a review and it'll be perfect. 5 out of 5 must play. No idea what we're talking about. Games with gold this week. We have Shadows Awakening, which is an asymmetric single-player RPG with real-time tactical combat and a very flourishing description. And we also have Injustice: Gods Among Us.
I'll kick the crap out of Batman for not going down on Catwoman. Fucking wanker.
Idiot.
Selfish lover.
Selfish lover. Just go beat Batman up. Yep. Give him the old glam slam. Go play as Catwoman and just
just thrash him.
Absolutely thrash him. Deals with gold this week. I didn't even know this game was a thing until tonight, and this is why I've put it here. Cobra Kai: The Karate Kid Saga continues for $39.72. I was like,
did you love? I mean, you probably did. I imagine everyone loves fucking Cobra Kai, right?
Fucking oath, yeah.
Do you have this when you read there's a game made out of a show that you love that much? Do you get that sinking feeling in your guts that you're
always?
Yeah. Whenever there's a franchise game that you kind of go, I'm interested in this because I love that TV show. But that's probably also the only reason anyone will ever buy it, and it will be shit.
Well,
maybe it's good. I don't know. It's the first I'm fucking hearing of it as well. So.
I saw the title. I went, oh god! You instantly go to, this is going to be fucking terrible. It came out in July. It's already down 40% from its original price, and so I went and watched the trailer for it. And I'm like, okay, yep. So I mean, you probably shouldn't play this.
It's a fighting game.
It's a fighting game, obviously. It's like a side-scrolling kind of brawler, Streets of Rage-esque kind of deal.
Cool. Yeah, okay.
From what I can tell. But yeah, I just looked at him. Oh no, please no, stop. Just.
I feel like that's a type of game that died out in the mid-90s for probably a really fucking good reason. Hey.
Yeah.
It was kind of tapped. I think 80% of every game made through the late 80s into the early 90s was a brawl. And then Sonic came along and killed it all.
Yep, Sonic just
Mario.
Over on the Switch this week, there's nothing new because the people on the fucking Switch website have inconveniently not updated their fucking website for me. It's still saying that the sale ended yesterday, but there's nothing new up. So the Ubisoft sale's still there if you want it. Also, there's a bunch of other ones there. So if you want to go get South Park Stick of Truth for $12, you can fucking go do that because it's a fucking funny game. Over on Epic Store this week, your freebie is Control. They've put it up there, the updated version, so it's super pretty. Great game as well. I had a lot of fun playing it. And that's it. That's all she fucking wrote. Log.
Around the grounds. There you go.
Around the grounds. Thank you so much for coming on and shooting the shit. It's been something I've been meaning to do with you for a while. It's
Yeah, no, it took us a few weeks to get it together, but I'm glad that we did. It's been fun, man.
Yeah, it's been an absolute blast.
I'm also sorry for all the assholes that you now know in your life. That are my fault.
Look,
especially
I've learned to
Winky.
tolerate them. It's fine.
Yeah, look, yeah. I mean, I've got enough in mind, mate. I don't need them back, so you can fucking have them.
I'll just go find the receipt. I want my cash back, man. Yeah. Fucking
returns.
Returns,
societal
please.
Returns.
Oh shit. So where can people find you?
Well, down the pub. But beyond that, on Twitter, Log Powerslave, anywhere really. Just Google that. Fucking Spotify, YouTube, anywhere, Twitch, it's all the same handle. And I guess if you're not tired of listening to podcasts after this one, you can go and check out the DDU as well with me and the old Flog Mylan games talking about law.
Good shit. All of those will be in the description. I'll do all the work for you and not have to make you track them down. You're welcome. You can rate the podcast 5 stars for that. Thank you very much.
It's the kind of thing that normal people would have in their pinned tweet. I've got no idea what mine is, so it's definitely not going to help you.
Mine was like a Destiny clip that went like semi-viral for like the longest time. I only just unpinned it like last year, I think. You fucking being a dickhead.
You gotta keep that shit. I don't know.
It's anyway. Still around. It's fine.
It'll live on in the annals of Twitter.
Yeah, it's lost forever. I think I still have it on my computer, so we're good. If you would like to get in touch with the podcast, you can find us on Twitter at left_pod, or also on Instagram at 2leftthumbspodcast. You can also find the video version of this up on YouTube, usually a few days afterwards. I've still got to get last week's up because I have been fucking slack and I'm so sorry. But not really. I've been busy. Life. You can find that at 2leftthumbs.online. Rate, review, all that bullshit if you want to. Thank you very much for listening. Log, thank you so much for joining me. You're an absolute legend.
No dramas.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will talk at you next week. Bye.